Happy New Year's Eve, fantasy managers, and welcome back to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. Hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you got some festive points. In this video, we're going to be having a look at my team of transfers and my captaincy. We're also going to be having a look at my updated chip strategy, and also going to be having a look at various different chip strategies that you could use to navigate the upcoming blank and double game weeks. Let's get into it. Very briefly touching on last game week, I got very lucky. I'm not going to lie about it. Had Cresswell coming off the bench. I didn't have any Spurs assets, so I missed their blank game week. I only had De Bruyne from Manchester City, so yeah, got really lucky last game week. Came in with 64 points, a game rank of 73k. Up into the top 15k for the first time this season. Okay, moving swiftly on to blanking double game week chip strategy. So I think this is what people kind of want to know at the moment. And the first thing I say before I go into this is that it is we're highly likely to have more rearranged games. There might be more games cancelled. There's a lot up in the air, but I think at this stage, to a certain extent, you've got to play what's in front of you. So we do know that game week 18 is going to be a big blank game week. And we do know that game week 19 is going to be a big double game week. We also know, providing, the season isn't cancelled or we don't get fire break or, providing all that doesn't go ahead, then we also do know that game week 26 is going to be a big double game week and game week 29 is going to be a big blank game week, similar to the game week 18 blank and the double game week 19 blank. We're looking at a similar sort of size blank and double game weeks. So that's kind of quite important information, and we didn't know that a few game weeks ago. So I think the other important thing to mention here is that we will find out what double game week 26 is going to look like in game week 24. So we're not going to have a really long time to prepare for game week 26. So trying to hold on to your second wild card will be really crucial, because you'll be able to wild card around game 24, set your team up for double game week 26. It's also important to bear in mind that there's going to be some smaller double game weeks. There's also going to be some smaller blank game weeks. We don't know exactly when they're going to fall, but again, highly recommend following Ben Crellin on Twitter, because he is the go-to guy. He finds that information out straight away, and he'll let you know. And when he lets me know, then I'll do my best to try and get a video out. So if you're not subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. But as you can imagine, there are lots and lots of different chip strategies that you could take. I'm going to go over a few of them. Obviously, I'm not going to cover all of them. I'm going to have a look at a few different ones that you should consider, and also having a look at, depending on your current team situation, what chip strategy you should take. Okay, so as you can see, it does get pretty complicated pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do is take a step back and just simplify it to the upcoming blank and double game week. Before I do go into it, it's worth stressing again that these blank and double game weeks could well change over the next couple of days. We could get fixtures added to 18, we could get fixtures added to 19 as well, so we could get a bigger double in 19 and less of a blank in game week 18. So it's worth bearing that in mind when you're thinking about your potential strategy. Again, for simplification purposes, I'm going to talk primarily about blank game week 18 and double game week 19. I am going to touch on how that impacts the later blank and doubles, because it is really important. Depending on the strategy you take now, obviously affects the strategies that you can take later down the line. So it's really important to touch on that as well. In the next section, I'm going to go over a diagram which kind of indicates which strategy you could potentially take, depending on your current situation, depending on the chips that you have left. Okay, so strategy 1 is to bench boost in double game week 19 and free hit in blank game week 18. If you're on this strategy, you've been planning for it for a while, either with free transfers or you wildcarded recently. I think it's a very strong strategy. I'm potentially taking this one myself. Strategy 2 is very similar. So you're setting your team up for double game week 19, but you're not choosing to play your bench boost. Instead, you may triple captain, and then you'll free hit in game week 18. So very similar. You're just choosing not to play your bench boost in game week 19. Strategy number 3, and I think this is a really interesting one actually. And I know a lot of good managers that are taking this route, and that is to use transfers and hits to navigate blank game week 18 and double game week 19, and save the free hit chip and the bench boost chip for later in the season, for that big double game week 26 and blank game week 29. So when we get to double game week 26 and blank game week 29, those chips are going to be a huge advantage if you still got them. It allows you to effectively wildcard around 24-25, set up for a massive double game week in 26, and use your bench boost then. And crucially, you won't have to worry about using your transfers to set your team up for 29 because you're going to have that free hit chip. And it's worth saying that the blank game week in game week 29 is going to be full of teams which are probably in the lower half of the table. There might be one or two good teams in there, but generally they're going to be less quality teams. So having that free hit chip will be really useful, so you don't have to start transferring in and transferring out players which aren't particularly good quality fancy assets. You can just kind of forget about it, play your team as usual in the second half of the season, and not focus too much and not focus at all on blank game week 29. So I think that's a really interesting strategy. Strategy number 4. Now, I'd recommend this one if your team is already stacked full of Manchester City, Tottenham and Everton players, and that is to effectively plan your team for blank game week 18 and then actually free hit in double game week 19. Okay, so I hope that so far has helped. I put this little decision diagram up here. Now, it's worth stressing that I can't possibly cover all potential strategies. So this is just meant for, an indication to help those that are still struggling, depending on, what your team is currently like, what chips you have left. And I'm not going to go into loads of detail about all these different strategies either. I'm just going to run through it for my own team. So starting at the top, free hit chip left. I still currently have my free hit chip left. Do I have 10 or more players that have a double in game week 19? I've actually got exactly 10 currently that have a double in game week 19. So I'm going to answer yes to that question. Now that gives me an option of 1, 2 or 3. In my previous video I was going for strategy 2, which is set my team up for double game week 19 and then triple captain in double game week 19 and then free hit in game week 18. The difficulty with this is that you can obviously wildcard in 24-25, set yourself up for a big double game week in double game week 26, but then all your double game week players in game week 26, you've then got to find a way to navigate to blank game week 29, and the teams that play in blank game week 29 are not going to be the teams that play in double game week 26. So you're going to really struggle to get a team for blank game week 29 if you play your bench boost in double game week 26. So because of that, I'm currently looking to try and bench boost in double game week 19. The advantage of that is that when I wildcard in game week 24-25, the players that I have in my bench, instead of bench boosting in game week 26, I can have players on my bench that play in game week 29. Therefore, that would give me a head start in having a team ready for blank game week 29. So I'd already have 4 players in there, and then I can use a few transfers and have a pretty decent team for blank game week 29. The other option for me and for anyone really is just to use transfers to navigate, the upcoming blank and double game week 18 and 19, and then you'll be really, really well set to take advantage of double game week 26 and blank game week 29. So it's all pretty complicated. Now, I hope this diagram helps. I realize I could have confused you even more. I think it is really complicated when you're deciding between 1, 2 and 3 of what strategy that you want to go for, and it depends largely on your team. It depends largely on your situation. For my personal team, my personal situation, I think it's a toss up between 1 or 2, and I probably won't decide actually until game week 19. I'll set my team up to give me a couple of options, but I probably won't actually decide. I'll make that decision last minute on whether I want to bench boost in game week 19. Now, of course, as I said previously, as I want to repeat, is that we're going to find out more information on potential blank and double game weeks. There could be more postponements. This whole plan, this whole strategy could be completely thrown up in the air if there are loads more postponements, if there's a fire break. There's a lot of unknowns here, and that's kind of what I want to sort of play what's in front of me. I think the upcoming blank and double game weeks is a really, really good opportunity to use your free hit and your bench boost chip if you're set up for it. I would say with the triple captain chip, I think Mo Salah is going to be a really, really good triple captain choice in game week 19. So if you want to go that way, then I will not grudge you. But there are going to be lots of other smaller double game weeks, and I think I'll probably play my triple captain chip in one of those. Man City will have a lot more small double game weeks because they've got a lot of games to play. So potentially, a De Bruyne triple captain coming up. Hopefully, he can do the business for me there. But yeah, as I said, this is pretty complicated. I think that it does depend a lot on your team. I'd highly recommend getting a transfer planner out if you haven't got one already. Lots of them on Fantasy Football Hub, of course. Okay, so to briefly bring it back to my team and what I'm doing for the upcoming game week. Going to put the captaincy, I think, on Bruno Fernandes. Haven't quite finalised that. I've got 2 free transfers, and what I think I might do is downgrade Grealish to either Rafinha from Leeds or Souček from West Ham. Both of those are looking really good. Both of those have double game weeks in game week 19. And also go Button to Fabianski. That gives me a keeper that has a double game week in game week 19. So that just keeps my options open. You know, I won't completely lock myself into playing the bench boost in game week 19, but it will allow me the flexibility that if I do want to go that route, then I can. It is worth saying that if you are planning to play your free hit chip in game week 18, like me, you cannot save a transfer for game week 19. So you can't roll a transfer and go into game week 19 with 2 free transfers. Your free hit chip wipes out, you know, any saved transfers. So it's an important note to make that, unfortunately, I wish you could, because then it would make life a bit easier. But in my situation, got 2 free transfers. I need to play them this week, really. Part of the other reason I've sort of changed my chip strategy to try and bench boost in game week 19 is that actually having a strong bench, having 2 playing keepers at this moment with everything that's going on is, you know, a good strategy anyway, because, you know, there could be multiple postponements. I guess that's the, you know, a potential drawback of trying to bench boost in game week 19 is that you could have loads of fixtures postponed and, you know, you don't actually have any players on your bench. So that's a risk, obviously, with playing the bench boost in game week 19. Again, that's why I want to make sort of a last minute call with that one. But I hope this video has helped you. If it has, please do drop it a like and please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I just also want to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched this video, everyone who hits that like button, everyone who has subscribed to the channel, all the thousands of members that we have on site. You know, just been blown away by the support. I realised that 2020 has been a bit of a rubbish year, and you know, I think we're all looking forward to hopefully a more optimistic looking 2021. But you know, Happy New Year's to all my subscribers, everyone that is watching these videos, and you know, I hope that I have helped you out a little bit along the way, and hopefully all our arrows can be green in 2021. But anyway, good luck for the upcoming game week. I'll be back next game week with my free hit team. Bye for now.